美国1月6号的国会暴动事件，它不只是现在美国众议院已经结束的听证会调查的对象，它也开始成为美国司法部门起诉判刑的对象。最近，德州一位男子被判刑了长达87个月，他就是在1月6号的时候持枪进入国会山庄的人。本来美国的司法部门的建议，他们要以恐怖主义的罪名起诉他们，但是最后呢，美国的法官跟司法部门没有采取最后判刑的5项重罪里头，包括了持枪支进入国会山庄、阻碍政府人员执行公务等等。而这次判刑的法官值得注意的是，他并不是所谓一般认为的比较自由派的法官，他是川普时代川普自己任命的法官，他是 Daphne Friedrich 他自己所判的。也就是说，即使是川普自己任命的法官，都认为这些人带着枪，而且妨害政府人员执行公务，是美国的宪法跟美国的法律所不能够容许的。这一次被判刑的男子，他的名字叫做 Ray Flood， 他总共被判刑是87个月，就是7年又3个月。他是美国极右派的一个极右派的组织，叫做3%者 3%，这个极右派组织里头的一位成员，是目前为止整个国会山庄暴动事件里被判刑时间最长的人。
在2021年1月6号，这一场以护国为名的示威里，一位49岁的爱国者被判了重刑，要坐7年又3个月的牢。
Which is the longest sentence so far for participants in the Capitol insurrection.
Reffitt guilty of 5 felonies. He was a member of the militia group, the Texas 3%ers, and brought flex cuffs, body armor, and a gun to the U.S. Capitol, and said he planned to target House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
I just want to see Pelosi's head hit every stair on the way out.
In a recorded Zoom call, he bragged about what he did.
Move forward!
Prosecutors kept referring to him as a leader, saying he lit the match that started the fire. Reffitt never went inside, but led rioters up the Capitol steps. An officer he confronted also spoke today, asking for the maximum sentence and saying his acts weren't acts of patriotism, they were acts of domestic terrorism. He threatened both his daughter and son after he returned to Wiley, saying if they turned him in, they'd be traitors, and traitors get shot. But his son secretly recorded him and tipped off the FBI. Prosecutors wanted 15 years. Reffitt's defense asked for no more than 2. The Trump-appointed judge in the case said she was worried by Reffitt's lack of remorse and continued denial over the election results and required him to have mental health treatment.
No matter if you're a liberal, if you're an independent, if you're a Republican, this is not okay. This is what this is political persecution. We are patriots. Ashley Babbitt was a patriot. My husband is a patriot. Roseanne Boylan was a patriot. And all I can say is that y'all can all go to hell and I'm going back to Texas.
至于当初向 FBI 举报父亲的 Jackson 心情沉重。
I mean, I'm not happy at all, and I haven't been happy through this whole situation. No one in my family has either. But to say I'm surprised would be a lie. I mean, everything my dad did, he's his own person, and his action has consequences. But I'm not happy at all.
2个女儿更是为父亲觉得不值。
To mark my dad as this horrible person, and then having him prosecuted like this when somebody is maybe even able to get elected again, doesn't seem right to me.
Trump deserves life in prison if my father's in prison for this long.
有可能吗？
Court documents are revealing that the phones of some top Pentagon officials were wiped at the end of the Trump administration. That would include any text messages relating to the events of January 6.
Now, these are top officials, including at the Department of Defense, the former Secretary Christopher Miller, his Chief of Staff Kash Patel, the General Counsel Paul Nye, and over at the Army, the former Secretary Ryan McCarthy, his General Counsel James McPherson, and 2 current officials at of the Army, the Chief of Staff James McConville, and the Director of Army Staff Lieutenant General Walter Piat.
经追查发现，被删除的不仅仅是国防部的手机记录。
Now, they say that it's possible that some of these records may have been maintained in emails. And for the two officials who are still in the Army, they say that they are looking through their records to try to find them. But it's the latest example of the government wiping devices when senior officials leave. We've learned this from the Department of Homeland Security. They wiped the devices of the acting secretary, Chad Wolf, and his deputy, Ken Cuccinelli. And the bigger questions about the Secret Service, big questions, of course, around January 6th is, did Trump try to get the National Guard to intervene?
依目前听证会已公开的部分，都显示川普在1月6号当天没有想要解救国会山庄的举动。
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff has testified that it was Pence, not Donald Trump, who called the Pentagon when the Capitol was under siege.
There were 2 or 3 calls with Vice President Pence.
不仅如此，《纽约时报》8月3号在披露，即使在拜登宣誓就职当天，川普的律师 John Eastman 还在试图找出乔治亚州1月参议院选举的舞弊证据。
A lot of us have now staked our reputations on the claims of election fraud, and this would be a way to gather proof. If we could get proof of fraud on January 5th, it will likely also demonstrate the fraud on November 3rd, thereby vindicating President Trump's claims and serving as a strong bulwark against Senate impeachment trial.
纽约时报称，已查证这封电子邮件真实性。
The day after, Eastman, I don't remember why he called me, or he texted me or called me, wanted to talk with me, and he said he couldn't reach others. And he started to ask me about something dealing with Georgia and preserving something potentially for appeal. And I said to him, "Are you out of your effing mind?" Right? I said, I only want to hear 2 words coming out of your mouth from now on. Orderly transition. And I screamed, I said, I don't want to hear any other effing words coming out of your mouth, no matter what, other than orderly transition. Repeat those words to me. And I screamed that. Eventually he said, orderly transition. I said, good, John. Now I'm going to give you the best free legal advice you're ever getting in your life. Get a great effing criminal defense lawyer. You're going to need it.
在先前已公开的作证片段里就已经证实，即使在发生1月6号国会暴动之后 ，Eastman 仍不放弃要推翻选举。这次《纽约时报》公布的电邮是最新的证据。
It was never about voter fraud. It was never a protest. It was always about holding on to power, whatever the cost. But the truth is coming out. Step by step, drop by drop, fact by fact.